Bienvenue dans Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment. C'est un jeu de 2014 si je ne me trompe pas. On va avoir plusieurs enquêtes à résoudre. C'est parti. C'est écrit en quoi là? À la mémoire des sangs célestes d'Ukraine. Peter le Noir, à mon avis c'est le premier chapitre. Oh là là. Qu'est-ce que je dois faire? Qu'est-ce que je dois faire?
Holmes, will you stop that?
Je me rapproche de la table.
You are utterly mad.
Oh là là. Je tire sur quoi?
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Non, non, c'est pas
Yes,
moi.
of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
Super,
I
les vases.
missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good.
Non mais il tire sur
Can I
n'importe
have a
quoi.
try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Mystérieux, qu'est-ce qui s'est
Give me
passé?
half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
Appuyez sur Tab pour ouvrir le carnet et vérifier votre avancée dans l'enquête. Alors, les tâches. Enquêter sur le meurtre de Peter Carey. Inspecter les lieux du crime à Woodman's Lee. Choisir un costume dans votre armoire et rejoindre l'estrade à Woodman's Lee. Ensuite, Peter le Noir. Ah, il y a des choses. De passage à Baker Street, l'inspecteur Lestrade relate à Holmes un horrible meurtre dont il a été victime un ancien capitaine surnommé Peter le Noir. Ça, c'est les tâches. Ça, c'est le plan quand on veut se déplacer, d'accord. L'épreuve. Profil de la victime. Peter Carey, alias Black Peter, né en 1845, ce qui lui fait 50 ans. Il a fait fortune en chassant la baleine en Scandinavie. Après avoir pris sa retraite en 1884, il s'est installé à Woodmansley. Document, on n'en a pas. Les dialogues, ben, c'est tout ce qu'on a vu déjà. Ok. Ça doit être les souvenirs. Je pense que c'est plutôt les trophées. Écho, portrait. Alors, il faut que je fasse quoi là? Examiner, j'ai rien à examiner pour l'instant. Ça ressemble beaucoup au Sherlock Holmes que j'avais fait, c'était The Devil Daughter.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Oh là. Son sac de frappe. Je peux rien faire. On va discuter avec lui. Avec
You
Watson.
go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
C'est cool ça. Petite part de gâteau.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Oh, il a foutu le bordel quand même. Il n'y a pas un truc là, regardez. Tableau. Non.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
Les archives, allez, non.
This is where I keep my post. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
Oh,
Madame
what a
Edstone.
mess! What a terrible mess!
Ouvrir la porte, faut qu'il change d'abord. Qu'est-ce qu'on a chez Watson? Rien. On peut pas faire d'interaction. Tout petit lit. Bon bah. Il est dans sa chambre. Comment je m'habille? Cheveux et chapeau. Ça c'est sympa. Des lunettes ou pas? On a tout vu. Le premier c'était quoi? Ouais. Votre costume ou les options de maquillage que vous avez choisies ne sont pas encore disponibles, vont être organisées, résolver cette enquête pour déverrouiller de nouveaux déguisements. Ok. comment je m'habille. Bandit. Au bro, je sais un peu ce que ça veut dire. On va essayer de prendre ça. Coiffeuse armoire. C'est tout ce qu'on a à voir ici. Alors, tab, on a dit pour avoir les tâches, enquêter, choisir un costume, c'est fait. Donc on va aller se balader là-bas. À Montpensley. On est arrivé. C'est une maison ça?
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Rejoindre l'estrade. Ok, ça c'est fait. Jardin.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
À demander, le jardin et les champs sont bien taillés, c'est l'œuvre d'un jardinier expérimenté. Faut que je lui parle tout de suite à l'autre? Non, je pense pas. Hein. Il va me poser des questions, je saurais pas répondre si je regarde pas ce qui se passe autour. C'est quoi cette calèche là? De chariot. La pomme. C'est joli en tout cas. Ah, il y a une maison là-bas. Hello?
Mr. Holmes?
C'est ce que j'aime dire? Bon, d'accord. T, ça veut dire quoi T? Ah, elle est pas là, non?
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Une bonne taille de quoi? Objet requis.
These foot
Ça veut dire quoi? Il y a un truc que j'ai pas compris encore.
Mr. Holmes?
Jardin,
It
c'est déjà
seems that the
fait.
garden was well maintained.
Tu veux pas que je passe par là, toi? C'est marrant ça.
Mr. Holmes?
C'est la maison.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Événement inhabituel cette nuit-là. Découverte du corps. Y a-t-il un jardinier?
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Il était bourré?
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
D'éventuels visiteurs.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. We lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
Y a-t-il un jardinier?
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il faut que je trouve sur cette visage? Avancer, revenir, ça veut dire quoi? Ah, tu peux changer, d'accord. Ah, je peux pas bouger à droite gauche là?
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Choisissez la preuve que vous voulez avancer. Comment êtes-vous corrompu? Mousse, pèlerinage, jardin bien entretenu, profil de la victime, empreinte de pas. Pèlerinage au profil de la victime. C'est pas le jardin. Pèlerinage c'est quoi? Parce que le profil de la victime, tu l'as eu avec le pèlerinage.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
Portrait. Judith a passé sa vie à la campagne, quelque part entre les vieilles forêts de pins d'Iverness et Strathspey en Écosse, territoire de la maison huppée. Très pieuse, elle a effectué un pèlerinage à Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle dans ses jeunes années. C'est ça la preuve, pèlerinage. Judith Carey mène une vie difficile en raison de son mariage malheureux avec Peter. Très catholique, elle est partie en pèlerinage à Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle dans ses jeunes années. Nous avons retrouvé des empreintes de pas récentes sur une parcelle de terre meuble de Woodmansley, serait celle du tueur. Je peux peut-être trouver les bottes qui correspondent. Le jardin et les champs sont bien taillés, c'est l'œuvre de jardinier expérimenté. On n'a pas vu le jardinier encore, où est-ce qu'il est?
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Si je peux trouver les bottes, ça serait sympa. Alors, faut que j'aille où? Je viens de par là. On m'attend de voir la cabane, mais je peux pas aller dans la maison? Bon. Ça j'ai déjà vu. Cherokee. Je trouve des bottes.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
C'est bien. J'étais dans le jardin moi? Derrière là? Des trucs? Ouais, on rentre.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Qu'est-ce que je vais faire? Ouvrir la porte? T. Porte, c'est rien. D'autres choses à voir? Ben...
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Bon, on ouvre maintenant?
What a terrible way to die. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Ça c'est quoi? On va jusque là-haut?
Hammerfest. Dundee. It's a whaling map. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
À utiliser, ça veut dire quoi? À demander, les traces dans la poussière qui recouvre une étagère de carré indiquent qu'un objet a été récemment retiré, un objet plus grand qu'un livre, une boîte ou peut-être un coffret. À utiliser.
The ship's lock. Harpoons for hunting whales.
C'est ça qui s'est pris. Les bottes, c'est ça qu'on voulait.
Peter carries boots.
Du
Known to be a
42.
size 8. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
On a tout vu dans le coffre. C'est bon. Alors, sur la table, on a quoi? Le verre, bien
Someone
sûr.
drank from this glass recently.
Même s'ils sont très très sales. Tourner l'objet dans tous les sens pour examiner en
The
détail.
initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
Comment je fais pour le tourner? Ah.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Une image mentale, super. Déplacer et tourner les éléments pour reconstituer les associations aromatiques. C'est un espèce de bateau quand même. Comme ça, une pipe. Ah, c'est mieux dans ce sens, c'est mieux dans ce sens-là. Après, les traits avec les traits. Je déplace la pipe. J'arrive pas à faire tout correspondre. Plusieurs bouts. Ça va où ça? C'est derrière. Là, ça va là. Ça va pas là. J'ai l'impression qu'il y a plusieurs bouts, je sais pas du tout. Qu'est-ce que t'en penses? Plusieurs bouts? Ah, feuille de tabac, pipe. Oui, il y a plusieurs bouts. J'ai l'impression. Ah, bah voilà. Ça va où ça? À l'avant du bateau. On se rapproche du truc.
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Vert, la
Rum.
bouteille.
A sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
A demander une blague. Une blague à tabac en peau de phoque posée sur la table dans la cabane de Peter. Il figure deux initiales grossièrement écrites à la flamme PEC. C'est l'œuvre d'un marin. Bah, c'est Peter, c'est son nom à lui. A demander à qui? À utiliser, à demander. Ok.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Quelqu'un de très fort. Y a pas une truc.
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
Carnet de notes. Inscription.
JHN are probably the initials of the
Wow.
owner of this notebook.
Il a laissé son truc derrière lui.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Ah ouais.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Un couteau. Avec du
This
sang.
blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Dans nos tâches, on a fini d'inspecter les lieux du crime.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Tapis, non. Faut que j'aille discuter, voir les bottes, tout ça, tac tac.
These boots don't match the footprints.
C'est trop petit. Il y a des plus grands pieds. B, c'est quoi B? Reliez deux indices pour former une déduction. Le rouge indique une combinaison impossible. Alors, deux indices. Calepin, on peut aller au mur. Comment on fait pour les relier? Pas de jardinier. Empalé au mur, Peter Carey s'est fait perforer de part en part par un harpon qui l'a cloué au mur comme un papillon. Calepin en cuir portant les initiales JHN, il est maculé de sang, ce qui indique qu'il est tombé après le meurtre. Tentative d'effraction, à en juger par les marques autour du cadenas, il y a eu plusieurs tentatives d'effraction infructueuses. Pas du jardinier, Judith Carey affirme que c'était son mari qui entretenait le jardin. Je suis sceptique, peut-être cache-t-elle quelque chose. Ça marche pas. Bon, d'accord. Ça marche ça? Il faut tendre une embuscade ce soir au cas où l'auteur des tentatives d'effraction reviendrait. Oh.
Ha! Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Organiser une embuscade avec l'estrade, le mystérieux intrus reviendra peut-être cette nuit achever son effet. Faudrait que j'aille parler à la femme aussi.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be. but he hadn't smoked in a very long
Je
time.
fume plus.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in
Ah
his cabin.
d'accord, c'est ça qui a été envolé, qui a été pris.
Thank you, madam.
Mr. Holmes?
Il faut tendre une embuscade, comment on va faire ça? Les bottes de Peter ne correspondent pas aux empreintes de pas, il y avait d'autres un autre homme à Woodsmantley. Le truc qui manque.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Bah, je fais quoi maintenant? Bah... On fait la nuit? Je sais pas. J'ai des trucs à faire dans la maison? J'ai rien à faire là. Qu'est-ce que je peux faire?
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Mr. Holmes?
Je suis censé partir, je suis censé faire quoi? Mais j'ai déjà fait ça.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Wesh, wesh, wesh.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
Où ça? Derrière? Là?
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Bah voilà. On est bien caché.
Shh! Did you hear that?
C'est qui?
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there! All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough! You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Enquêter sur le meurtre de Peter Carey. Ça c'est fait. Alors on va où? On va à Scotland Yard ou à Baker Street? On va à Scotland Yard. Interroger le suspect. Examiner les effets personnels de Nelly Jegan. C'est qui Nelly Jegan? Ah, c'est le suspect, ok.
Mr. Holmes?
Qu'est-ce qu'on a ici? C'est quoi cette tête? Ah, j'ai quelqu'un.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Thank you.
Alors, c'est par où?
Mr. Holmes?
C'est pas par là, oui, j'aime. J'ai une porte. Staff room. Je peux pas y aller. Là, evidence room. La salle d'épreuve. Sur la table, je suppose.
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that he
carnet.
found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Une bague. Il y a des trucs écrits dessus. From Air Dawson to my friend and partner,
And
1883.
partner, 1883. From R. Dawson. To my friend, Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Il pique la bague carrément.
A handkerchief with the initials JHN. A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Faut que j'aille dans mes archives. Bah, je vais y aller tout de suite. Hein. Ça peut m'aider. Alors, c'est là-dedans que je dois chercher. Gravure sur l'anneau. Un anneau en or portant l'inscription de R. Dawson à mon ami et associé. Inauguration de la première voie ferrée électrique. Non. Bah, je sais pas. Faillite de Dawson. Faillite du fonds d'investissement Dawson et Nelligan introuvable. Le fonds d'investissement Dawson et Nelligan, institution bancaire originaire de Cornouailles, s'est déclaré en faillite suite à de lourdes pertes dans son portefeuille de prêts. Il sera par conséquent procédé à sa liquidation. C'est là la 23e plus grande banque de Grande-Bretagne et la 2e plus importante faillite de l'histoire. Pour bon nombre de familles des Cornouailles, la liquidation de la société est une catastrophe pure et simple. Joshua Nelligan, l'un de ses banquiers, a depuis mystérieusement disparu. Il a été vu pour la dernière fois à bord de son voilier, se préparant à partir pour la Norvège. Monsieur Nelligan est recherché par la police ainsi que par ses créanciers.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Encore là, lui.
Good gracious, you caught someone. At least now you have a suspect.
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
Toby. C'est encore elle. Je crois que j'ai pu regarder. On retourne à la Scotland Yard. Pour interroger le suspect. C'est pas là, non? C'est où la salle d'interrogatoire? C'est là normalement. Si je me rappelle bien. Dans les autres épisodes. C'est fermé, super. Alors, bon. J'ai pas prévu là, les morts. Personne? Je me débrouille avec les cadavres. Je suis censé faire quelque chose ici? Ben... Je crois que j'ai rien à faire. C'est quoi ça? Interrogatoire, ça y est, c'est ça.
Mr. Holmes?
Dawson et Nelligan.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress.
Calepin, couteau de marin, anneau en or.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan.
Couteau de marin.
The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Merde, faut que j'appuie. Il m'a toujours apporté une blague à tabac, couteau aiguisé, profil de la victime, gravure sur l'anneau. Jardin bien retenu.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner.
C'est quoi ça? C'est rapiécé. Bizarre comment il est habillé. Hein.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Gravure sur l'anneau, profil de la victime, jardin, veston de son père, blague à tabac. Oups.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
C'est celui de son père.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Carey ne fume pas. Ça va pas. Ça va pas. devons déterminer si un homme sans expérience ni aptitude particulière est capable de traverser une cible de part en part avec un harpon.
I need to stage a reconstruction. I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Se préparer à l'expérience de harponnage.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Je vais parler à Watson.
Locked.
Je peux encore en faire. Récupérer le calepin. Les tentatives d'effraction visaient à récupérer le calepin qui baignait dans le sang de la victime. L'auteur de cette tentative pourrait bien être le meurtrier. Il y en a d'autres? Ça va pas. Bon. Bon, je pense que c'est tout pour l'instant. Il est là, lui.
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No. But we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible. But if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
On va aller chercher un cochon.
I need to take a harpoon with me.
Ah ouais. On va chercher le harpon. Je vais voir un truc là. C'est lui. Ok.
should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Tu vas aller direct ou pas? C'était pas très loin. Alors...
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test.
Retenir son souffle. Oh putain. Faut que je fasse quoi lancer? Ok, je viens de comprendre.
Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
C'est facile. J'ai la même à chaque fois. La jauge s'agrandit à chaque fois. Ah. Le premier coup.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Oh.
Of course.
Alors, il me reste 3 trucs. Alors, on doit faire une déduction. Entre quoi et quoi? Un tueur nécessairement fort, oui. Faites votre choix parmi les deux. Force surhumaine. Bah oui, hein, faut pas de la chance, il faut une chose. Ah d'accord, on avait un choix sur 2. Ça va pas ensemble. Il n'y a rien qui va ensemble maintenant. Je récupère le harpon ou pas? Rien d'autre à voir ici? On va où? Enquêter. Journal de bord. Bah je sais pas où je vais par contre. Qui c'est qui a de la force? Je sais pas où je vais. C'est qui le jardinier là? Avec les grands pas. Quelqu'un que je connais pas.
1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Peter Carré... Comment il s'appelle l'autre? Je sais pas.
This log notes for June. Nothing unusual. Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for July. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are three ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first two of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
A utiliser un titre de créance émis par la Canadian Pacific Railway trouvé dans les journaux de bord du Sea Unicorn à la place des pages arrachées toutes. 1883. Pour Wikids. Les journaux de bord du Sea Unicorn pour l'année 1883, une liste de l'équipage figure au début du registre. Les pages d'août 83 ont été arrachées. Ski Wikids. Wiggins peut peut-être m'aider. Il doit être à quelque part à Baker Street. Le jardinier n'existe toujours pas, le jardinier. Hein.
Who could do such a thing?
C'est le jardinier.
Poor.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they are still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
Le mec est sous la fenêtre.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Le rhum et les lumières
Sorry to
rouges.
trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Faut aller voir l'inspecteur à Scotland Yard. On est parti.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always, what happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a fait?
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes. He refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
On a fait retrouver l'inspecteur, il faut examiner les effets de personnel de Hurtley. Et interroger aussi. Alors, c'est lui.
These are the suspect's belongings.
Les bottes.
Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a
Plus grand.
size 9.5.
C'est pas mal.
The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it.
Tout. Ok. Et ben on va aller se balader. Analyser. Utiliser où ça? Les bottes, ok. Je sais pas, faut que j'utilise ce truc là. Je vais aller déjà chez eux pour les bottes. On peut pas faire un moulage au lieu d'y aller 15 fois. Ici.
These boots match the footprints exactly.
Qu'est-ce qu'on a? Empreinte de Hurley. Les bottes de Liam Hurley correspondent aux empreintes de Woodman's Lee, ce qui prouve sa présence sur les lieux. Pourtant Judith Carré nie avoir un jardinier. Il ne veut toujours pas me parler l'autre. Il faut que j'aille analyser la tâche.
Who could do such a
Ouais,
thing?
d'accord. Demander à qui? Ah. On va à Baker Street. Pour analyser là-bas.
I need to
La
prepare
lettre.
a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction.
D'accord.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Il y en a 7. Donc 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Le orange après le bleu. 1, 2. J'ai 2 bleus. Un vert. J'essaye de réfléchir.
First condition. All 7 reagents should be used.
Oui, d'accord.
Second condition. Orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition. Colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Alors, si je fais bleu, vert, bleu, orange, transparent. Alors, bleu, vert, bleu, orange, transparent. Hop. Bleu, bleu, vert, orange, transparent. Non. J'ai pas envie de réfléchir. Et... là c'est bleu. Ça va pas marcher, mais c'est pas grave.
Done. Now I can proceed further.
Youhou.
Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery.
J'ai ce que vous m'aviez fait. J'ai fait ce que vous m'aviez dit. J'ai bien caché, mais je vous implore de réfléchir à 2 fois. Je jure. Rappelez-vous. Rappelez-vous nos vœux. Je n'ai rien fait de déshonorant qui me votre moi.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
Et on retourne à Scotland Yard. Ça j'avais tout vu. C'est par là. J'avais parlé à l'autre là.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely, and considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you, but you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see. Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
Vite, vite, vite. Les bottes. Pas les bottes.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Ouais. Oh, c'est quoi ça? Faut voir ça, le débris de végétaux. C'est un jardinier.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Un jardinier.
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
Pourquoi il aurait caché quelque chose?
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
Ouais, mais moi je sais pas. La lettre.
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one, but it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley. That's all for now. Hurtley's stories are false leads, but now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
Ok. Enquêter. C'est qui ça? On va retourner à la maison. Alors, ils sont où ces outils? Là-bas dans la cabane, je pense. envie de parler, toi? Oh oui, t'as envie de parler.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
Merci.
Thank you, madam.
J'ai les clés.
Let's see what could be hidden here.
Une citrouille, un arrosoir, des vieux outils. Ouais, j'ai rien. Ah, faut que je fasse thé. Ça ira mieux avec thé. C'est ça la boîte qui manquait. Une clé.
Let us see what is in this box.
Tournez, tournez. C'est excellent jeu. Qu'est-ce qu'on a de lettres?
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
Mon très cher Liam, depuis notre rencontre, vous m'avez couvert de bonté. Je ne saurais évoquer mes sentiments, mais je les tiens pour sacrilège et néfaste. Je crains que le pire n'arrive, je crains d'offenser Dieu. Je vous remercie de vos bons soins, mais je ne peux abandonner l'homme à qui j'ai été uni devant l'Éternel. Par sa volonté divine, mon époux est ma croix. Il fait de ma vie un enfer, mais il n'est nulle échymose qui ne finisse par s'estomper. De grâce, ne vous inquiétez pas pour moi. D'accord. Julie Carey et Liam Hurtley. Bon, madame, vous aurez des choses à me raconter?
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he
Parce que
has
c'est
done.
lui.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
On va aller voir le petit Wiggins. Bon, ça va pas avec ça. Jalousie désespérée. Liam Hurtley était si désespérément épris de Judith Carey que sa jalousie a pu le pousser au meurtre. La relation que Liam Hurtley entretenait avec Judith Carey lui donne un mobile pour tuer Peter Carey. Alors on va à Baker Street. Je sais pas si j'ai un truc à faire avec lui, je vais aller voir comment au cas où. Bon.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see.
Alors, faut que je fasse quoi, souligner? Pourquoi souligner? Bah, le harponneur, c'est peut-être mieux.
This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Battre Cairns.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
C'est quoi cette monnaie? Les guillemets. Si la blague à tabac appartient à Battre Cairns, c'est qu'il était présent sur la lieu du crime. Reste encore à le prouver.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor.
Ok. Se déguiser en marin. Ça ressemble à quoi, marin? Je sais pas à quoi ça ressemble à marin, non? Les lunettes sont trop beaux. Je mettrais bien un chapeau, mais je sais pas lequel. Ça fait marrant.
Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
mais j'ai pas la perception du marin. Ça me saoule. C'est pas grave. Ça ressemble à un autre parc que j'ai déjà vu ça. Un bonnet.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
Observez le visage de Battre Cairns pour comprendre ses actions, ses bloquer, récupérer et agir en fonction. Surveillez votre endurance. Waouh.
That's the arm that killed 100 whales. Care to lose another 10 shillings?
Ça on voit bien, la boucle de rien en or. C'est quoi ça? Ah, j'entends Antoine.
I've had enough. You're too strong.
Come back later when you can use your arms again.
J'utilise ça pour qui? C'est déguisé en marin. Vachement marin.
I've had enough. You're too
Fasse quoi
strong.
maintenant?
Come back later when you can use your arms again.
Alors, c'est déguisé en marin, ça ressemble à quoi un marin? Casquette?
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
Je serais bien parti quand même. Faut que je le batte absolument, mais j'y arrive pas.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that. You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
Bah non, c'est bon.
I'm ready to try again.
Faut en gagner combien?
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that. Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Pas de travail?
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, I find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
Harponneur?
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I've sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Peter le Noir.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar and violent too, swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant and not much of a captain. At least not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
C'est quoi?
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
C'était qui? Oui, c'était qui?
And who was he?
I don't know. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
Toi, tu sais?
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
C'est le père du jeune qui est en prison?
Back in a second. I'm off to the Ghazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Pourquoi il l'a caché? Ah. Comment je fais?
Here it is.
Pourquoi toi et toi non en fait?
Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
Il est temps de partir. Nous avons eu confirmation que Liam Hurtley flirtait avec la femme de Peter Carey, dont il est tombé amoureux. Toutefois, leur récit s'était tenu à de simples lettres et paroles d'affection. Ou alors, Liam Hurtley était si désespérément épris de Judith Carey que sa jalousie a pu le pousser au meurtre. La relation que Liam Hurtley entretenait avec Judith Carey lui donne un mobile pour tuer Carey. Je sens que ça va pas être bon le truc, mais c'est pas grave. Donc on va où là? Je reste à pied comme ça. Arrêtez changer. Ah, je peux ouvrir.
How is the investigation going, Mr. Holmes? Do you have any idea who the murderer is yet?
Bah non.
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Ça va pas ça?
You met Battre Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
Ah oui, je pense que c'est lui, mais...
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
J'ai un indice que j'ai pas encore utilisé, ce truc-là. Mais j'utilise où? Je peux plus y aller au truc, donc... Dommage.
Leave me alone, please.
Mince alors. J'ai pas fait les bonnes déductions. Portion humaine. Ça marche là? Moi ça marche pas. Alors là, il manque des choses. Hein.
Leave me alone, please.
J'ai mis quoi finalement? C'est lui le coupable. Oh, il y a des trucs à
These
faire
are the
ici.
suspect's belongings. I wonder if these are connected.
C'était ça.
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
Il est possible que John Nelligan ait été pris en train de voler des obligations, ce qui l'aurait poussé à tuer Peter Carey. Bah non. Merde, j'avais un cheveu ou deux. Je comprends pas. le choix, ça me fait ça obligatoirement. Si je mets force surhumaine, il faut que je continue de faire quelque chose, mais je sais pas quoi. Est-ce que je peux lui parler ou pas? C'est quoi là? Non, il n'y avait rien. Toujours rien.
I'm not saying another...
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
C'était lui?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belonged to my family, but I could not find them there.
That's all for now. Well, I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go! I'm innocent!
Qu'est-ce qu'il foutait sur les lieux? Je suis paumé. Les tentatives d'effraction visaient à récupérer le calepin qui baignait dans le sang de la victime. L'auteur de ce tentative pourrait bien être le meurtrier. Negligan cherchait les documents de son père sous sa présence. C'est Cairns qui est coupable. Pourquoi? Bah, il a été quand même.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Battre Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means...
It means, my friend, that you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
And I say that we will.
Ah non. J'appuie sur quoi? Faut que je fasse quoi? Z. Ah mais c'est un clavier QWERTY que j'ai. Alors, ça va être quoi la touche? Ah. C'est bien le Z, c'est bon.
Lestrade, are you all right? Are you able to stand?
Oh, my jaw. Gore. He took me by surprise, Mr. Holmes. Otherwise, he would have seen what I'm capable of. Oh.
Yes, he was lucky.
But you got him.
It was remarkably easy. He lost his balance after he struck you.
And you practice boxing, I know. You must have hit him hard. Our fellow is knocked out.
We should call for a police cab and then take you to the hospital.
Yes, well, no need for a hospital. I would prefer to keep this between us. You know.
Of course, Inspector. The case is closed.
C'était bon alors. Peter Carey a été assassiné par Battre Cairns, harponneur professionnel, seul à même de porter un coup aussi précis dont la blague à tabac a été retrouvée dans la cabane de Carey. C'est un meurtrier de sang-froid, je décide de le livrer à la justice.